Welcome to another episode of Let's Eat Orlando with Amy, Drew, and Biggie. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Happy holidays, happy new year, all that good jazz. It would, depending on when you're hearing it, hopefully you're having a great time. Lots have happened and lots have occurred. I know one of the big ones is obviously with the new year, we have things that open and close. We thought this would be a good episode to have just to kind of talk about some of the places that have closed, give our thoughts, as well as also opportunities that are possibly coming in the new year for some folks that I think would be fun. So what are your thoughts on how you been, Amy? Drew, how's we haven't talked.
Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year, everybody else. It's great to be back. It's like a refresh. It's a restart, a reboot, and I'm trying to be better.
You're trying to eat better, or are you just trying to be better in general?
I always try to eat better. You know that I have a lot of balance. You and I actually saw each other recently.
We did.
And we went out and you were having a beer and I was like, I'll just have one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's something that I tend to forget, that you, like, a lot of your consumption of food is obviously work related consumption of food. So therefore you have to find the balance. Versus me, that it's not my work, it's not my job. So whenever I get to go out to eat, I'm like, oh, I'm going to eat something. And it's funny because I'm not usually the one that drinks a beer, but I wanted a beer and I had a GB Light, and it was great. It was delicious.
It was really good. We were sitting, it was beautiful outside. It was nice. There was sun, but it wasn't hot. We're enjoying this little 5-minute blip of not roasting here.
Exactly. And it gave us a good time to catch up on things that we want to talk about and things that we want to do for future episodes and activities. Yeah, you did have a salad, which made me sad because when we went to eat, I thought we were going to actually eat together and enjoy something. And then you're like, I'm going to have a salad. And I was like, if I would have known this, I would have probably ordered a salad as well.
But the cool part was I got to taste the Biggie Banh Mi.
Yes, you did get to have
banh mi. Like, it's explosively good. It's not a banh mi. It's not a banh mi. It's a banh mi.
It's a banh mi. Yes, it's my orange chicken. It's my concept idea that Gnarly Barley does. That's the orange chicken sandwich. It's got it's got pickled coleslaw with pickled cucumbers and carrots, and then it's got like a sweet chili mayo on a brioche bun. And I'll say it, I think it's delicious. I think it's it's one of the.
I loved it. And the slaw was really good. It's a very good sandwich. So if you like a chicken sandwich that's a little different, definitely go there and check it out. And it's such a cute spot. I am so glad we talked about this. They broke the curse.
They did.
How long have they been there now?
3 years now. 3 years.
Gnarly broke the curse. Should we tell people what the curse is if they're new to the area?
Go ahead. Tell people the curse.
You're probably better because you're like more native than I am, but
no,
I have lived here long enough to have loved Brian's, which was there for a very long time. I don't know how long exactly. I don't remember. My dog is jumping in here. He's a good boy. I loved Brian's. My favorite sandwich at Brian's was the breakfast hoagie, because I thought at the time when I went there, and there were not as many places, hello, my bubba, that they had a breakfast hoagie there that was like the closest thing to a New York egg sandwich that I have had. It was really good. The bread was really good. It was just great. And that's what I always got when I went there. But Brian's closed, and there were several other places that came and went in that really cool space directly across from the lake. It's just a beautiful spot. You can watch the sunset there. It's a great place for a beer bar. And
located in Ivanhoe Village.
So congratulations to the Gnarly Barley. What a cool spot.
Yeah. And obviously I'm it's a weird thing when people ask me like what my favorite place what favorite sandwich or where do I get a sandwich. I kind of try not to
feel like you need to plug it.
I do and I don't. Like, it's one of those where like I'm proud of it because there's not many, like, I've had concepts of sandwiches and food that I have, come up with, and and one of them was at Pom Pom's and I and stuff like that. But this one is the one that has my name on it. It's my idea, and it became, and then like the fact that they make the sauce for the orange chicken is from their old fashions, and they use the oranges and they do the peels and do all that stuff. It's super good. And then the mere fact that the nuggets they have nuggets named after me, Biggie Nugs, with the same concept. That's so yeah, I love them.
to
What
have a
was that?
sandwich named after you. That's an achievement.
It is. It is more, hopefully more opportunity. So let's talk a little bit about, we'll talk first a little sad in the sense of, I know you have a list and we've kind of
I
talked about it
do. Oh my gosh. I feel
of,
like it's like the Oscars and we need to run a scrolling tribute to everything.
yeah, I mean, yeah, of all the
Really.
places that unfortunately either had to close, came to an ending for them, they had a sunset, and I kind of wanted to talk about some of them, but then I also want to talk about, some of the positive things that are coming in the future, to kind of get us, in with some, some with the old or out with the old, some with the new, some reinventing themselves, things like that. So which ones do you want to talk about first that
My
that
gosh.
kind of went away?
Well, I mean, look, we could talk. Let's first talk about, maybe like SkyBird and Dajen and V's Diner, and we lost and Ethos. We lost a lot of very popular and beloved vegan places here.
Yeah.
And Orlando's a big vegan food town. For years, it was one of the best. I mean, at least if you believe the stats that people were saying that Orlando was one of the best cities in the country for vegans.
Yeah.
But all of these great places went out for different reasons. Not all of them went out of business because of, just the economy and stuff like that. But it's a great loss. Valkyrie also,
Yeah.
which I love Valkyrie
Mm-hmm.
Doughnuts. So like really, I
Yes.
want to pour a little soy milk out for them because I will miss, speaking of nugs, I miss their nugs. Those were great. And
No, their donuts were amazing. Their
yeah,
donuts were amazing. Yeah.
totally. So
Mm-hmm.
I think the one in St. Pete's still open. So you
They
can
are
still
still,
go over
that one
there.
is still, open. And if you go and sell at there's a market out there that I've sold at, and that other people do that. That's usually what I'll do is I'll end up driving over there, getting some, because it's only a few minutes away from that market in St. Pete, and I get some donuts just so I can kind of
Great
remember.
neighborhood over there.
Yeah, yeah, they have a great culture over there of small business and stuff like that over in the St. Pete area.
One of my favorite thrift stores too.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What is there something, out of curiosity, out of the ones that you mentioned vegan, is there anything that you, besides the donut, was there any one of those that you're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna miss this at one of these
Chef
restaurants?
Jen's Hoaxtail. Her, which is just such a great name anyway, for
Yeah,
vegan oxtail. Her food was so good. I mean, you had to have had some of those sandwiches. She
I
had
did.
so many good sandwiches. And I mean, this was not wafy vegan food, like people who had, I mean, now maybe people don't have that image of vegans anymore because there's so much basically vegan junk food, vegan
Yeah,
comfort food out there. But in the beginning, when veganism was like this trend that non-vegans were just starting to hear about, they would be like, oh, vegans, they're like these little wafy, eating celery all day people. Oh no, there was no celery. I don't know that they ever even used celery. I mean, maybe in like the slaw or something. Yeah, very decadent vegan food and really good, vegan Jamaican food. So, but I did hear, I can't remember, it's called like Vegan on the Island. I think I just
okay.
heard buzz of a new vegan Caribbean place. So
Oh,
if I
we'll have
got
to
your
check
name
it
wrong,
out.
I'm sorry, but I did hear buzz about a new vegan business. So
I
maybe
love
we'll
that.
get that back soon.
Yeah, hopefully.
What about
Hopefully.
you? Anything specific that you could
uh
ID?
not really. I never got to eat, and I kind of was sad because when I was like, I never got to everyone. I think the one I got the most, like, kind of like, man, I can't believe they closed, they were one of my favorite places, was Ethos. I think that's like the one that I think a lot of
Oh,
people were like,
Ethos was great. I liked their breakfast burrito. They had like I mean, I thought it was like, it tasted like scrambled eggs to me
yeah.
when I ate
I
that.
mean, that was the one thing that I got told by anyone who was vegan or non-vegan. They were like, how is that? I can't believe they closed. I'm so sad. And it's unfortunate. It's super unfortunate for all these places that were places that we've, like, we like, that have become part of our community, have been, are, serving food, and like people knew about, and they were staples. And then all of a sudden now they're closing down for one reason or the other. I think it's just such a sad,
Well, I feel
sad
like
thing.
it's one of those things people should pay attention to. I know everybody, and me included, times are tight. Food is expensive, which means going out is even more expensive because, everybody has to raise their prices because everything went up. So if there's a place that's local that you love, like make sure you go there once a month, or, order takeout, or when people ask for a place to go, recommend the place that help keep these places in business. I'm not saying that
Yeah.
everybody needs to go out all the time. I know people can. But I
Yeah.
think when you hear, oh my gosh, I can't believe that. And then they go, well, when was the last time you came?
It's like 15 years ago.
Right. Oh, but you're a
Yeah.
part of the community, but you haven't been here in 10
Yeah.
years. Go.
Yeah.
You don't have to go and buy $100 worth of food. Go buy a sandwich at that favorite little local place, or,
Yeah.
a milkshake or a donut, or just go. If everybody who loves that place would pop in once a week for a donut, I mean, I'm making that up,
Yeah.
then it could make a big difference for people.
No, I agree with that. I also agree with the fact that even if and like you said, even if money's tight and you love the place, there's nothing wrong with you if you're on social, share them, tell people
Yes.
about them. Say, hey,
Another great
you
idea.
know,
Yes. Share
go
it.
check this place out. Go check this small business, or oh my God, this was so good. Or if like maybe share something that they had and leave a comment or whatever and share it on your social. I mean, it's amazing for small businesses what it is. I was talking with another small business owner, and I was saying that what I find very interesting is that as small business owners, and I know I'm deviating on this, but it kind of falls into the realm of some of these things, of like things not working out and things like that. One of the things I've realized is a lot of small business owners or customers give way more are almost like way more empathetic and way more understanding to the large chains when they mess up and do things. But when it's a small business who may be having a tough day, or heck, maybe even the fact that they're only a few people, it's like a small staff doing all these things, and they don't give them any grace or give them any empathy. So they got like so it's very difficult because you're competing with all these other restaurants, like you said, money's tight. And then if you're having you have a bad experience, you're not willing to go back to them sometimes, even though maybe they had a bad experience, even though maybe it's rated very highly. And that's something that's very tough when it comes to small businesses. And that's something that I kind of sometimes tell myself when I eat at some places. I'm like, especially if it's gotten like a lot of people that are saying, oh my God, it's so good. And maybe you had a bad experience. Maybe they had a bad night. Maybe something weird happened, and maybe give them another try.
Yeah, or at the very least, if you don't have anything nice to say, it's kind of an old school adage. If you have nothing nice to say, maybe just don't say anything, because other people like it. You know what I mean? I've been to places that people have recommended, and they weren't particularly my cup of tea, but they were somebody else's, and it's so subjective. So,
No, I totally agree with that. What are some other places that we kind of talked about that kind of unfortunately closed, and then maybe we'll kind of spin it up and talk about some of the new places that opened up? I mean, we had some places that opened up and closed, that was unfortunate, like Mid-Dive Drive. That one hurt when I saw that one.
For a minute about that, because I was a big fan of what they were doing. Yeah. And they had a great burger that everybody should have liked. And they had those crispy pig ears, which I know people, for some reason, are okay with eating other parts of the pig, but not some parts of the pig. It's all pig, people. It's all pig. All of it. It's the same thing. But they were so good. So, yeah, that was one that really deserved to stay open. The cocktails were fun. And the bartender was super nice when I sat at the bar. And it was just a cool spot. But whatever. College Park is a strange animal, I think. I think people are still figuring that place out. And of course, we have to Pom Poms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was a big one. I mean, obviously, I think she kind of got to a point where maybe I feel like it's like a Phoenix type of thing. Like, I feel like she's got other concepts. She's already doing pop-ups and another thing. So I think she's getting reinvigorated. Yeah.
Which I haven't gone to yet. They just started with that, but I'm definitely going to. Yeah, no, she's not going away. But it's
which
still
is great
sad because people miss Pom Poms, and there were some legendary sandwiches that everybody loved, but it was there for a long time, longer than many, many, many restaurants.
Correct. 16 years, I believe. I think it was 16 years.
these days being open 2 years is like, oh, you made it past, like we were just talking about the Gnarly Barley, making it for 3. And that's impressive. So
no, for sure. What other ones that you come up that we had on the list that either opened or closed in 2024?
Let's see, what do we have? Let me think. Well, we can talk about Words Brewery, which I really like the beer there. And it feels like there's like quite a few breweries. We'll probably talk about that another time. So I'm going to miss them. Persimmon Hollow, also another one. I know it
Persimmon Hollow, they're still open in DeLand there, but the food and restaurant concept that was in Lake Eola closed, unfortunately.
One that I'm sad about is a food truck that was open that I really, really dug. I had them for the first time at Tasty Takeover, called Brock's Florida Barbecue. Yeah. They were pitmaster Jason Brock. Oh my God, such good food. Such good food. It's a crime. So I'm going to miss them. I had one incident this year where I went and I did a double review of 2 restaurants that were owned by the same people right next to each other. And before my review came out, one of them closed.
Really?
Yes.
I
had time to change the digital version. The print was locked in, so we got to print in the same day.
without you disclosing, I'm just curious. Was it they were both in the same location and the location was not a typical location?
No. They were. I mean, it's all on record. We don't have to be secret about it.
Oh, okay.
Chili Star, which was the Szechuan restaurant, which was really good. You know, I only write up places that I like. And right next to it was Walala Noodle House, hand-pulled noodle house. I can't remember. Walala, noodle house. And Walala is still open and it's great, so go. But Chili Star, which was also really good, next door closed between the time that I ate there and the review. Wow.
Yeah, sometimes you just don't know.
This was just a case where that side was doing, really well. And, they made a business. It's a business decision. They were like, we're going to roll with this. My dog is very needy today.
Yeah. No, I love it. What are some places that were and I think we kind of talked about this, but I'm kind of a good time to bring up. Did you notice when you were looking at all the places that opened and closed, did you notice a trend on like a certain cuisine or food? Like I felt like there was like a trend on what's opening or what's closing. Did you notice anything like that on some of these?
I don't know. Well, I mean, there was I don't think it was a trend per se. Farm and House was another one. That wasn't like an exclusively vegan place, but it was a very veg friendly place, I will say. That was another one that was open for quite some time in East End Market, and then they moved out of East End Market onto Park Avenue and they closed. So that was another one. So there was a lot of vegan and vegetarian leaning places that closed this year. I don't know that it was a trend, but yeah, it's a bummer for the people in that community.
I noticed
it always feels like there's just a ton of Asian restaurants opening.
I was going to say that. I felt like that one was like
there feels like that.
Yeah.
I think. And maybe it's just because when those restaurants come out, they're usually the ones that I go, ooh, I want to try that. Ooh, I want to try that. Like more so than the other places. Smash
What
burgers.
Are some a lot of smash burgers. Yes. What out of curiosity, out of like since we talked about since that was kind of the trend I was going with as well, like now I noticed a lot of Asian, like did you have any favorites that kind of like rocked you in 2024 that you're like, wow, I'm like these are some top ones that opened up that I'm like these are going to be good, I can't wait to see what they do in 2025?
You mean like restaurants that are going to persist and do some other things?
Either persist or that you kind of were like some of your favorites. I mean, obviously you wrote about all the ones that you loved, but were there any ones that you're like, man, I'm like, these are
come out. So I don't want to give like everything away or anything. It'll be some time. But places that, that came out that I reviewed that I loved, I can honestly say I'm thrilled that in Mills Market, Kai Kai is back because that was a favorite of mine that went away for a while. And now it's back. Dim sum. Roast pork in the chow fun, which is not on the menu, but you can ask for it. That's my favorite. They do beef chow fun there, and it's the best, but I like it with the sliced pork, and that's my jam. Go. And while you're there, eat like everything else in there because everything is so good. And they're going to have a new one coming out soon cowboy curry that I'm
Yep.
super excited about, which the specialty will be Japanese curry. Koro restaurant in Audubon Park was a really great ad for that neighborhood, which lost Bem Bom, a
Yep.
while back. So I think that that's a great one that people outside the neighborhood should go check out. What a great restaurant! Just beautiful food there. Great staff. Really nice wine and sake. Beautiful desserts, and it's also very chilled. So that was one that I really liked. I'm trying to think what else. And my great bites, that still sit, Sato. I wrote about the salt and pepper ribs, but I have to tell you, it was like this close. Am I going to write about the Wagyu tartare or the ribs? Which one? Which one? Which one? And I ended up going with the ribs, but it could easily have been the tartare there. That is so outstanding.
Yeah.
So go Sato.
I love it. What let's chat a little bit about things that I know you wrote about it, so I'm kind of curious, and I know we talked about cowboy curry. What are some of the
what you loved?
what I loved? I know. I just for me, like, it's funny because
what
I
was your
learned
favorite sandwich that you tried last year?
or
top 3. You don't have to rank them, but like
last year
2 or 3
favorite
sandwich.
So it's funny because I'll kind of go, I know that they made, and I'm almost positive I ate it last year. I know that the guys from Red Panda made a sandwich on the truck. I think it was last year that I loved because they do make killer sandwiches.
They'll be making sandwiches this year. We can talk about
which
that.
I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to that because that's something that I've been very excited about, them opening up something sandwich related. Sandwich wise, I mean, obviously there's a lot that kind of go like I don't know, it's just kind of like I can't think of one that it's been like, oh my god, where have you been? Because there's not been many new sandwich shops open. Like obviously like the classics, the Stasios, the Beefy Kings, anything that you kind of eat at milk, the milk district area. Those are always kind of like the ones that you kind of will hit. I will say that I definitely tried to venture more away from any, I don't know, like I always do, venture away from fast food. And I also tried to venture away, maybe not as much. I ate a lot more tacos this year.
Which is not I feel the need
not
to
a sandwich, not a sandwich, but super delicious.
We should do a
and
whole torta show.
I would love to do a torta show because not many places do it, and when they do it right.
I feel like a lot of places are starting to do those.
Yeah, they are starting to come out with tortas. I mean, heck, I'd love to do it.
My life in Los Angeles last year, Lengua.
That would make sense.
So good. It was, and then it was like my first day in LA, and then it made me want to try tortas everywhere I went, and none of them were as good as that first one.
So. I think that's sometimes a tough one when you go and like that's something that I tried to venture off and do, order more of, like if I went somewhere that I've been to before, not eat what I usually eat. You know what I mean? Like I would go to Stasio's and I wouldn't order the Stasio. I would order something else. And that was something that I tried to push myself to do. And I'm going to probably continue doing to try to get outside, like, because what happens is you go and you're like, I want the classic. I like the good stuff. But then like, unless you're eating and you're eating the menu and you're only going for one meal, then you're like, oh, I want what I want, and that's what what it is. Right. So for me, that was a big one. I ate a lot more Asian this year, which is never wrong. It's like you can't really go wrong with like Asian, Italian, Mexican.
I could eat Asian food for like every meal before I would be like, maybe I'll have some whatever,
Yeah. No, so to me that was kind of the big thing. Was I think I told you we have like a list that my wife and I have that like every time we like look, if there's something that you bring up and she sees it on like the Instagram or something, or sees a place, or I send it to her, we just have like a shared list that we have of restaurants. So then so that way whenever we say, hey, we should go eat something,
or if you're going to be
where we're going to go out to go eat. Yeah, like we go and we look at, and we're like, oh, we're in this neighborhood or we're here. And then we kind of look at our list and be like, oh, we haven't eaten here yet. So let's go there, or let's do something different. And then we're like, oh, I'm in the mood for this. And so she's been really good at keeping, and that's something that we're going to keep doing because I like being able to try new places also to get me out of my own you know, you get out of your circle, especially if you're going to be
Oh,
out and
I
about
can never
somewhere.
stay in my circle. Like there's hardly, I have to,
Correct.
it's so rare. There's a couple of places I'm thinking about writing that. Like here are the places that when I feel like, oh, okay, fine, I'm going to go to this place that I love again. Here's a couple of places that I always go to, you know, when I'm not working, like I will go
Yeah.
there and just to go, which is a big deal because like we said, I have to eat so much for work that I don't often eat outside of that because then I'm eating so much stuff,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, it's a lot of
the
calories, a lot of food, and it's a lot of rich foods and things like that. So it makes it tough. You speaking of places that you are looking forward to, I know we talked about you had and we kind of named some of them. So I figured let's kind of make it you're like you had a thing an article you wrote about the top 5 places or top 5 food concepts that you're considering or excited about
yeah,
for
it's
in
just like a 5.
2025.
It was just 5
Yeah,
that I'm
yeah.
really looking forward to,
Yeah.
and we already hit one, which was cowboy curry at,
Yep.
uh at Mills Market. I'm excited for that, and I love Mills Market. I just love Mills Market because you go there. First of all, it's
A
like
little bit of everything.
it's to me it's like Target for foodies. It's like I'm going to go there to get like chive cakes and then you end up spending like $48 because you're like, well, I'm here. And I mean, I can't just go out this isn't Japan. I can't just get onigiri at the 7-Eleven. So let me grab those. Oh, but I love that, that whatever it is, the French dip on me or whatever from Bon
Yeah.
Joy, or, extra things from Kai Kai, or now they have all the buns and the desserts, and they have a dessert place where you could get shave ice. So it's like, so now I go there and I'm like, I'm going to just get this. And that never happens. Like I buy from at least 3 different places in the market. So
And I think that's the part I like about it, though.
foodie
It's like
Target.
it's like a little food hall of just delicious concepts to
You
be
go
able
to
to eat.
Targets to buy hairspray and you spend $77.
You're like, why did this happen?
Right.
What's the name of the place that Red Panda's naming? I was trying to figure out the name of it for
Baba
their
Yaga.
Baba
Baba Yaga.
so Baba Yaga.
The
I
witch.
can't wait to find out more about that. And then the best part is they're, if you love chicken,
And
they
this
bring
city apparently does.
supposedly if you love chicken, which I guess we do, they say they're gonna bring the best chicken sandwich, which I'm excited to try because I do love a good chicken sandwich. So
We
I'm
had
very
for a
intrigued by
while
that.
what they called the chicken strip, which also had an alternative name that you
Yes.
can say.
Well, I don't even know
You
which one
don't
did they
know? Come on.
no. I have no idea with the chicken strip.
I'm not
Which
saying it
one?
out loud because it'll end up
Okay.
turning into something that people sample.
So then we won't we won't then. See, you put your guest in as if you're listening to this.
They
Um
at least
so what other
one of the 5 people who are listening right now.
yeah,
No,
thank you for listening, by the way.
thank you.
What are some of the other concepts that you had put on there? It was that one, it was cowboy curry, and I was like, we had just talked about it, and I was like looking and going, oh, I'm intrigued by that.
I don't remember. Pepper Lunch, which is a chain.
Pepper lunch, yes, pepper lunch
More
was
Asian
another
food.
one.
What a shocker.
Yeah,
I'm
more.
excited
Yeah,
for more
who
Asian
would have
food.
thought? Who would have thought? I also love the fact that more, which is something that I think we need to see more of, especially which it sounds crazy, but I think we need to see more of it in airports and things like that, is the fact that there's going to be more of a local flavor inside the airport. I know they kind of trended towards that more, but we're going to see a lot more of those, of your favorite places that are going to be now available at the airport, which I love, because obviously we see quite a bit. People think Orlando, they think chains, they think I drive and like, oh, we have every single chain, to be honest, I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm perfectly fine with Dave's Hot Chicken and the White Castles and the Portillo's opening in Waterford Lakes. I'm perfectly fine with that. I know we've talked about it, and that's one thing in 2025 I can promise you is that Amy, Drew, and I will be eating more, and we'll be talking and discussing. And one of them will be
and
obviously
we'll be doing some video while we're out and
yes,
showing you the
we'll
food and
for
stuff.
sure. For sure. But one of the things that I loved was the fact to see recently that they're going to be opening up in more of the terminals.
Mhm.
A bunch of restaurants are going to, local restaurants, local favorites that are going to
I
be
will
available.
Swine and Sons, Maxine's on Shine,
Yeah.
Kelly's Homemade Ice Cream, Foxtail Coffee, Stasio's, which you just mentioned.
Yeah.
I hope they have the D so that everybody can have it.
Yes. Yes.
I love that one.
Soto Square is going to have something.
Another
Smoking Donuts.
favorite, Smoking Donuts, Otto's High Dive. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Four
crazy.
Rivers.
Yeah. So many.
You said another one's Jam Ang, I think is you
Jam
mentioned.
Ang, yes, which is like Caribbean British. So
I've never had that. I'm going to have to try that.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see. I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see what the trend will be, what will be popular in 2025. Obviously, smash burgers was very popular. I think everyone had a version of a smash burger.
I had so many good ones, and you know that I wrote up recently Pink Salamander and Betty's, both really good. But I have to tell you, on that list, Burger John, you people got to go. They are bringing burgers back, like.
I love it, and I heard the fries are pretty ridiculously legit. And you said they make their own bread, right?
They make their own bread. They make their own, they make the fries and they do the fries. It's not rocket science. It's not any big secret, but they blanch them and they freeze them and then they fry them like flash. Oh my God. It's like eating, they're like creamy on the inside. It's like they're mashed potatoes on the inside of the fries. They're so good.
They're on my list. Because I'm sad that I haven't had them yet. And there's a few smash burger places that I've been dying to try.
If you eat red meat and you are looking to blow your New Year's resolution out of the water, go there and get a burger and fries. And if you are vegan, I'm not sure. If you're a vegetarian, check about what else they might fry in that oil. But I have a feeling that you could go there as vegan and enjoy the heck out of those French fries. Those fries are so good.
I love a good French fry. I have noticed that there's like 2 French fry spots that I noticed that are just French fry places.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they have. There's one on Cimarron I saw.
There's one in Mount Dora. I think they have.
There is one in Mount Dora, and it was packed.
They have things besides fries, though. I think they also sell
the one in Mount Dora.
I think so. I think that the fries is what they're known for, called the salted fry. But I think they have things beside fries. I'm not sure. They've been there a long time. People must love their stuff.
The place was packed when I went, and when I was walking by, and I was like, man, I want to go there. And then I drove by on Cimarron right before getting to Aloma. On Cimarron, getting towards Aloma, I saw that there was like a little, like a fry. I think it was called the Fry Spot. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, I'm like, okay, you lean on the fries. I'm like, I love a good fry. So I'm like,
I know. Well, a lot of times, you go to a place and the fries are okay, but you can tell they're like just, I mean, there's really no bad French fries. You might have a preferred cut, but there's nothing wrong with fried potatoes. We had this conversation, but most places don't necessarily make them. And for me, that's do you make these? I'm not even like, I'll taste a couple and I don't eat them. Yeah. Because it's just, it's calories. No.
Yeah. No.
But the ones at Burger John, my gosh, those are worth your fry experience. I'm telling you.
So we're definitely excited for a new year, new episodes. We'll definitely be talking about a little bit of everything, but you definitely, if you have topics of food that you want us to discuss, or you have a favorite place and you want to have us debate about it or talk about it, I mean, let us know. Or visit it. If you have a place you want us to visit, we're definitely planning and scheduling some times to do some investigative eating. To hopefully be able to share with you, and so that way you're able to enjoy. Because I'm definitely excited. I think it's going to be a great year. I think it's going to be a great year of food, and a great year of the Let's Eat Orlando podcast.
Yes, a growth year, a fun year. We want feedback. We want to make it better. We want to have some fun and promote some good local eats here in Orlando. So let's eat.
For sure. Yeah, Let's Eat Orlando. So thank you. Have a great one. Definitely, by all means, keep supporting local. And like you said, keep sharing those favorite places of yours. You have, especially with all the closings and everything like that, and new places opening up. If you love a new place, tell everyone about it. And if you don't love it, maybe they're having a bad day. And I will kind of go with this preface, and I know it's something that you and I have talked about. When a place opens up brand new, I know you're excited and you want to be the one to eat it.
Please, if you're going to run in there, please
give them
grace. Give
them grace.
Like, yes.
Give them grace.
Excited, but don't expect them to, they're just starting.
Correct. Like a good example, and we'll talk one of the places that opened up, and I know we're going over because what we usually talk, like Smoke Made Meats opened up this year.
Oh, that's a great ad. Wow.
You know what I mean? Like that's a great one to add in 2024. And the mere fact that like I waited a little bit and like they, and even though they had created with pop-ups and doing all that other stuff, they really, they kind of, sometimes you got to take a little bit to get their stride because it's all new, especially when you see someone that you loved that was pop-up now going into a larger thing. It's like a whole different setup. It's not the usual, like, hey, I only got to do these things. There's a lot more involved. So give them grace, either wait a little bit to go see them, or if you're going to go see them, eat them, and then have like a certain, like, okay, this is like my baseline. I'm going to go back again in about a month or two when they worked out the kinks and get everything going. Cause they also are waiting for feedback and all those things, but give them grace.
Agreed. I can't say it any better.
Yeah. Thanks guys. We will see you back for another episode, but thanks for listening and have a good night.